Hi everyone. We're just waiting for more people to join in. Hi Pratap.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm doing absolutely fine.
So I think we're right on time. We'll be about
Yeah,
to start our tutorial on mobile photography tips and tricks
yeah.
very shortly. I think
We
uh,
already
I
have
think we'll
13
just
people.
sorry.
We already have 13 people here. It's really very good to see 14.
Good to see a lot of people joining us. We'll be waiting for about 2 to 3 minutes so that more people can join in, and then we'll start our session on mobile photography.
Fine. We already have 20 people. Okay. That's really good. We have,
Very nice to see a lot of people joining in. So we'll be starting in about 1 minute from now.
okay. Clicked by SSS. Thank you, brother. Really means a lot.
Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll just get started in the next 15 seconds. Okay. So should we get started, Pradhan?
Yeah, it's completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so let's get started. I just wanted to, just give a quick introduction about myself, and then we can talk about you. So basically, I am Sahib. I am from Adcom. As you know, Adcom is a family-run tech startup, and we are family-run small business, and we introduce, tech lifestyle accessories. We introduce tech products. One of the line being mobile photography, which we're going to talk about now. And to be very honest with you, Adcom is an old brand. It's a 2002 brand, but due to a lot of things, the business operations got disrupted in about 2015. And 2018, we launched our first product. 2018, Adcom was restarted with a fresh new concept, with a fresh new roadmap. And 2 years down the road, we have built a very strong audience. We have built a very strong base, and we have a good product lineup. And this is basically about Adcom and about me. I'm just at Adcom, focusing a lot on the product, getting feedback from all of you, and incorporating that feedback, into our product design, and making sure, I'm also taking care of the sales and marketing. So Pratap, would you like to tell us a little bit? Yeah, so I think some signal issues. Would you like to, Pratap, tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, hey guys, my name is Pratap Rajkundu, and I'm a 19-year-old photographer. So, I'm doing photography for 3 years now. And I recently came across the Adcom lenses. It's really very good lenses. It's not that I am working with this brand, collaborating with this brand, but it's really a very good lens. I've been using the Adcom wide-angle lens for almost around a year now, and I'm really very impressed with the quality of lenses, and it's going great. Great. That's all I can say.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. I think we'll just dive into our tutorial. So we've collected a bundle of questions that we've got from our audience. I think Pratap will just get started with them right away. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so perfect. I just want to introduce, first, the first question that we've got is, could you just share with us some basic rules of photography and composing?
Okay, so basic rules of photography and composing includes many things at large. So keeping it straight and simple, few rules which are really very important when you start with the mobile photography, like in general, is rule of thirds and leading lines. These two are the most important things that a person should keep in mind while starting with mobile photography. And apart from these things, like small things matters a lot, which piles up to make you a good photographer. Just like cleaning the camera lens before you use, and always try to use those grids that come along with your default camera. Like it really helps you a lot to compose your shot well and check whether the horizon is straight or not. And that's all. Like small things like avoid using flash and zooming. Actually, when you zoom the picture, the uh, size and clarity of the picture gets reduced. Suppose you're using a 48 megapixel camera, and if you're zooming the picture, it slightly gets reduced. Suppose you're zooming 1.5x, it then gets reduced to 24 megapixels, then 12, then 6, then 2. So if you're having digital zoom, it's perfectly fine. But if you are not having digital zoom like 2 cameras or 3 cameras, then I would prefer not to zoom, and instead like you should go close to the subject and click your pictures. So these are the basic things which you should know, the founding mobile photography, foundation of mobile photography, that you should keep in mind.
Okay, wonderful. So the first thing you mentioned is the rule of thirds, which we can use the grid, to get the rule of thirds.
Yeah,
Second thing you mentioned is regarding the digital zoom, right? So digital zoom, as in we should not use digital zoom until we have a, dual camera or the triple camera.
yeah,
If we have a single camera, or like if we want to get the best of our picture quality, we should go closer to our subject rather than going 2x, 4x zoom.
yeah.
Okay,
Otherwise, the
that's
picture quality gets very much disrupted.
Okay, wonderful. I think that's very helpful. So, one question that we've got from Shivam Pandey, the question that we got from Mr. Shivam is how to use the pro mode in a smartphone, the pro mode in a smartphone camera.
Okay, so these days all the mobile phone I guess comes with Pro mode, and there are many things in Pro mode like the focusing, ISO, white balance, aperture, shutter speed, and many such huge technical terms. But keeping it simple, Pro mode isn't that difficult as it sounds. There are simple things like shutter speed. If we want to freeze the motion, we can use a sweet kind of shutter speed like 1/250, or if we want a little blur kind of a shot, we can use 1/15, 1/20. And coming to the ISO, we can keep it around 100, because less the ISO, we will get less noise in the pictures, and the picture will be looking good. And if we increase the ISO, we will get more noise in our picture, which doesn't look good in a photograph. And then aperture, we can keep it least, uh, like according to our photograph. Suppose we are clicking a landscape and we want no blur, so that in that case we can keep aperture around 16, 14, 11. So regarding that, and white balance, if you are clicking a picture in golden hour, you can keep the white balance a little, a tint of a yellow. Or if you are clicking a picture in a dusky or a dawny tone you want, then you can keep the uh, white balance a little violet, a little blue, in case of blue hour. So according to a picture, it all depends according to your mindset and what kind of pictures you want to create.
I just wanted to ask very quickly, some of the people might not know what ISO is. So can you just tell us, what exactly is ISO, and like you said regarding the ISO
Yeah.
sensitivity. So can you just tell very quickly about that also?
Okay. So ISO is the amount of light sensitivity that you are allowing the lens to capture. Suppose you want to capture a picture in a very sunny day. So in that case, ISO 50, ISO 20 in smartphone, ISO 100 is enough. And in case you are shooting in night, around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, then we should increase the ISO a little, so that in case we see a little brighten up image, because less ISO means you are getting plenty of sunlight, so it
Understood.
increases as the light sensitivity we want.
Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, it means low ISO means it will, get less, of the light, but more ISO will get more light, and more
Yeah,
ISO will
yeah,
be useful for night, and less ISO will be useful for day.
okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's very helpful. So I think that was the first question that was asked by Mr. Shivam, and the
Yeah.
third question that's actually come by Miss Sunaina is when to actually use the HDR mode, when to use the HDR mode, and when not to use the HDR mode in a smartphone camera. HDR mode
So,
basically.
so basically, HDR stands for high dynamic range. So when you click a picture for like by using HDR mode, your phone simply takes picture in three different exposures. One is underexposed, one is the normally exposed, and one is the overexposed. Okay, so you can't find out like your phone is clicking pictures in these three different exposures, but after you click the picture, these three exposures get clubbed and it gives you a final single image. Suppose you're clicking a picture of a sunny day, okay, and we are not able to find out the foreground because it's completely light up because of the sunlight coming in. So in that case, we can use HDR mode, and the phone will be clicking pictures in underexposed mode, normal mode, and overexposed mode. And in the final image, we will be able to see the mountains, the proper sunlight, the clouds, everything. So we can use it while using landscapes or you clicking portrait in the night where we are having less light as compared to the day. And I think you should avoid using HDR mode often. And one such particular example of it is while clicking something very colorful. Because if we use HDR mode while clicking something very colorful, the colors might seem a little artificial. Like the red will not seem a little red; it might seem a little orange. So these are certain pros and cons of using HDR mode. Like we can use it in landscape photography, but not always.
ओके सो बेसिकली जैसे आपके कहने का मतलब है कि जो एच डी आर मोड हुआ वो हम यूज कर सकते हैं उसमें तीन फोटोज इकट्ठे क्लब होंगी एक क्लिक में तीन
हाँ,
फोटोज होगी एक अंडर एक्सपोजर एक नॉर्मल एक्सपोजर और एक
normal,
ओवर एक्सपोजर तो ये
over,
तीनों क्लब होंगी
overexposure.
ओके तो ये तीनों क्लब होंगी और इस पे लैंडस्केप के लिए हमें यूज करना चाहिए जिसमें कलर्स थोड़े से मतलब उभर के आए बट इसमें हम वी शुड नॉट यूज इट फॉर जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा कलर्स हों क्योंकि वो फिर उसमें कलर्स हमारे आर्टिफिशियल
Yeah, it's
बेसिकली
artificial level.
ओके हाई डायनामिक रेंज ठीक है आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी वेल आंसर okay, we'll move on. One question that we've received is by Asim. We've received by Mr. Asim is how to find the correct angle. हमें करेक्ट एंगल और एक्सपोजर कैसे एक फोटो खींचते वक्त हम कैसे करेंगे
So basically, while clicking landscape or say portrait, the angle of your eye is a perfect to click a picture. Like from an eye angle, it's perfect to click a picture, but it depends according to your needs. Suppose, like I am very much into street photography. I like clicking pictures in the street. So basically, my preference is that I try to click pictures from a little lower angle so that we can see the whole perspective in a different manner. But many people, would prefer to click pictures from a little high angle and from a little side angle. So it
आई थिंक
differs
आई टेक
according to
फ्रॉम
people.
हाई एंगल थिंक
Yeah.
आई टेक फ्रॉम हाई एंगल क्लोज टू माई आई
Okay. So it depends upon people. Like I really like to keep the angle a little low, so that you can get a little dramatic clouds and little dramatic foreground, dramatic background. So that really helps me. So it differs from your needs and how you want your pictures to be composed.
ओके और इसमें हम मतलब एंगल का आपका कहने का मतलब है कि एंगल हमें वही यूज करना चाहिए जो हम उसमें आउटपुट चाहते हैं अगर हम चाहते हैं
Yeah,
कि उसमें ज्यादा ऑब्वियसली क्लाउड्स आए स्काई आए तो हमें थोड़ा सा लोअर एंगल से लेना है और
low
अगर
angle.
इफ यू
Yeah.
वांट टू ठीक है और इसमें एक्सपोजर का हम कैसे मतलब हाउ टू कंट्रोल एक्सपोजर इन दिस
So basically it's like मैं थोड़ा एक्सपोजर कम रखने का कोशिश करता हूँ ताकि आप अपने पोस्ट प्रोसेसिंग में when you edit the pictures you can increase the brightness, increase the highlights, increase the shadows. ठीक है. So basically, according to me, it's better to take the pictures a little underexposed. At least this is my ideology that I try to follow. I keep my photographs a little underexposed when I click it, and then in the process of post processing, I increase the shadows, highlights, and brightness. And I'm telling this because if you take the picture in a little higher exposure, all the clouds and everything seems to get burned. there will be
इसमें
no details
प्रताप,
left.
so exposure basically means that getting more light. Again, ये ISO में में ही होगा, मतलब this will count in that only. Like when we talk
Exposure
about
means
exposure,
ISO
this
is
means
inbuilt.
light exposure, right?
Yeah. This is light exposure. Like you can click and you can increase the exposure. Like the amount of white in the photos will increase, and everything will seem to get white type of.
ओके, सो बेसिकली आपके कहने का मतलब है कि आप उसमें आप एक्सपोजर लो रखते हो ताकि आप जब पोस्ट उसको प्रोसेसिंग कर रहे हो, सो यू कैन
Yeah,
इंक्रीज द इन
yeah.
दैट इन ओके, अंडरस्टूड
And one more
अंडरस्टूड
useful thing is that when you click it using the underexposed, when you click the underexposed shot, you get to capture a lot of details. You can
यस.
get to capture a lot of details in the picture. And once you like overexpose a shot, like many details are lost in the shot, so you can't probably get them back while editing.
ठीक है, सो आई थिंक इन शॉट्स लाइक जिसमें आपको डिटेलिंग चाहिए, मैक्रो शॉट्स, क्लोजअप
Yeah,
शॉट्स,
yeah,
तो उसमें बेनिफिशियल होगा कि हम उसको अंडर एक्सपोज्ड रखें.
yeah. Absolutely.
Understood. Very well. So, one question that we've got by Roshan is to how to take panning shots. How to take panning shots with a smartphone camera. So, can you tell what
Okay.
exactly is panning? Firstly, though.
Okay.
Firstly.
Suppose panning shot is basically clicking the motion of the subject. Suppose a bike is going and we are trying to capture that bike. Only the focus will be only in the bike and the foreground will be completely blurred, like a motion kind of thing. So that is
Okay.
basically panning photography. So the ideal settings for panning photography with mobile is keeping a shutter speed around 1/10 or 1/50. So this is a sweet spot for a shutter speed while you are using panning. And suppose you're clicking panning with your smartphone, keep your ISO as lower as possible, uh, just in case to keep your noise a little low. And I would say to not to go very close to the subject that you're clicking. Try to remain a little far, because if we go close to the subject, then the subject will totally rush from your side and you won't be able to capture it. So just maintain a distance from the subject and try to capture it. Like suppose a car is going, we will try to focus on the car and move along with the car. So the complete process of maintaining a motion of yourself and your mobile camera is very important.
So basically, you mean to say that maintain a distance and have a shutter speed of 1/10 or 1/15.
1/10, 1/15, or
So
maybe till
basically,
max
shutter
1 by
speed
1/50.
So basically, shutter speed 1/10 will slow down the process of taking a photo, right? Am I correct?
No, basically it will bring out that motion kind of thing in your picture,
It will
like
bring
the
out the motion that we
background
call panning, basically.
panning. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think आजकल most of the smartphone cameras will allow us to take panning shots? Like most of the
So according to me, artificial intelligence is such a thing that most of the smartphones are having nowadays, and it's completely fine. It's completely sufficient to take a panning shot using your smartphone, and I guess it's fine, completely fine. You just need to
okay.
get practice, or you just need to get the hold of all the technical things like shutter speed and ISO.
Okay. So basically control the shutter speed, control the ISO, and maintain a distance, and we'll be good to go by taking a panning shot.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay, understood. I hope these question and answers are helping you out. And if you do have any question and answers, do leave us out in the comments, and we'll be looking at that and taking some time out to answer those questions as well. I think we have got some questions so far, and we'll be looking into that. So feel free to ask any questions you have. We'll be looking into that as well. So, Pratap, let's move on. So another, very important questions, this is actually my question. This is my question which I prepared for. I want to ask you, why use a wide angle lens? Why use a wide angle lens, when there's already a lot of wide angle, in smartphone these days? Would a mobile lens, like, for example, आपने use किया हुआ है, so will it actually help, like a external wide angle lens?
So I personally won't prefer the wide angle lens that is given in the phone inbuilt, because using that wide angle lens, like we can see the wide angle lens coming with the smartphone is around 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel, whereas the primary camera has like 25 megapixel, 16 megapixels, right? So when we are clicking pictures using the wide angle lens, the quality of the picture, the resolution of the picture is getting drastically changed. It's getting drastically reduced. Suppose our main camera is having 25 megapixels, right? And the wide angle camera is having say 8 megapixels, 5 megapixels. So you can get to see where 24 megapixel and 8 megapixel really makes a difference in a picture. And taking wide angle pictures with the phone, basically, the corners get distorted and we can see black backgrounds, black corners. So this is very awkward when it comes to wide angle photography using the smartphone. But yeah, we are using phones like costly phones like Samsung Note 20 or iPhone. In those cases, we can use the wide angle lens. But with budget phones, and upcoming phones offering wide angle camera like 2 megapixel wide angle camera, 5 megapixel, those are for just namesake. Like yes, we are giving a wide angle camera. It doesn't really help. So in that case, I personally have a wide angle camera in my phone, which is of 8 megapixel, but I don't use it. I use that Adcom wide angle lens, and it's really very useful because it gives you a picture of 25 megapixels, right? When you attach that clip in your smartphone and clip with the primary camera, it gives you a 25 megapixel wide angle shot. So why go for 16, 8 or 5 megapixel wide angle shots when you're already having a 24 megapixel wide angle shot?
Absolutely. So you basically mean to say that, let's say if you have a smartphone of 25 megapixel primary and 8
Yeah.
megapixel secondary, तो आप अगर फोन का आप यूज करते हैं, then it will the image the wide angle image of the smartphone will come out to be 8 megapixel. Am I correct?
Yeah. Totally.
And if we use an external wide angle lens, on your primary smartphone 25
Yeah.
megapixel, then the image will come out to be a 25 megapixel wide
5
angle image.
megapixel. Yeah.
Understood. Okay, perfect. I think that was my personal question, and I think you've answered that perfectly. Let's move on. So the next question is, another question that's been asked, do technicalities always matter? Technicalities while taking a photograph. This question has been asked by Aman, Mr. Aman. It's been asked.
Okay, so it's similar to like जब हम बचपन में सीखते हैं like alphabets and numbers, and progressing we get to form sentences and write essays and do calculus and algebra. It's completely related to it. Like technicalities are important, but after a certain point of time, it's all your creativity. Like as I said, ISO,
Absolutely.
shutter speed, aperture, white balance, these all are like foundation, like the building blocks of your photography, be it mobile photography or DSLR photography. These are the building blocks of your photography, right? So if these things are clear, you can surely click anything you want and surf around with the creativity. So these are important, but that's not everything. Your creativity matters a lot.
Absolutely. I also agree. All the knowledge that you have, if you can't utilize it with your creativity, then there's no point of, having that strong base if you can't build
Yeah,
on it. So I think you're
yeah.
absolutely right. And you've answered that question very beautifully. And let's move on. So I think we'll have one more question because it's already been a while since we've doing this. After that question, we'll just move on to the Q&A that have been asked. So the last question is, how do mobile lenses help, and should we be using them? Should we be actually doing mobile photography when we are using DSLR and we're using like professional cameras? So how do should we look into that option?
Okay, so in my feed, like around 60 to 70% of my pictures are clicked using mobile. Okay. So I really prefer clicking pictures with mobile photography with mobile, and I really prefer mobile photography a lot because you can't really carry your DSLR and camera everywhere. Suppose a puja or any ritual is happening, you can't obstruct them by taking your DSLR, and it kind of grabs the attention. Like everybody looks, and some people think that am I carrying a gun or something like that. They really suspect it. Okay? Especially in India, like people are not very familiar with the concept of street photography and clicking pictures with DSLR always. So according to me, mobile photography helps me a lot. You can click a picture anywhere, anytime, and these days cameras are like really improved. So mobile photography is something that we all must look into, and students, start photography with a concept that DSLR is very important. I need a DSLR to start photography. So that shouldn't be the case. Mobile photography, like mobile is your smartphone is enough to start off with the photography career. And if you think like you are getting something is lacking, then you can surely go for a DSLR. But as a
Absolutely,
beginner level,
absolutely.
smartphone is quite more than enough.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. You know, you cannot carry a heavy DSLR wherever you go. You cannot use it at any time, anywhere you see a moment and you want to capture that moment. You know, plus, I think, mobile photography, mobile cameras are getting stronger. You know, we are also working very hard to make the lens, of the highest quality and, distortion free, black corners free, which you see in a lot of lenses. So we are also,
Yeah.
working on, videography now, mobile videography. There's a lot of things that we're working on, like cinematic footages, different kind of effects, filters, and all of that. So, absolutely, I think that's very well answered. And I think, we have more questions. We have a lot more questions, but we've shortlisted these questions, to make sure, that you guys have the most, get the right tips and tricks to ensure a beginner's level mobile photography. And I think, should we move on to the Q&As that we've received?
Yeah, sure. I'm already looking into the questions.
Okay, perfect. So we've got one question by Varun. Varun dot Datar 93. Varun. So Varun is asking, what is your personal experience with AdCom camera accessories? Perfect question. So what's your personal experience like?
So my experience so far has been like it has been very well. It has been like very well, because Adcom was my first brand which I collaborated with, and it's been almost 1 year that I'm using the Adcom wide angle lens. And till date, I send pictures to you like using the Adcom wide angle lens. So anywhere I carry, if I'm not able to carry my DSLR, I make sure that I'm carrying my Adcom wide angle lens in my pocket. So
No, that's
quite
perfect. You're
helpful.
absolutely right. We've been in touch for the past 1 year, and it's been 1 year,
Yeah,
since we introduced mobile,
more than 1 year.
photography equipment. Yeah, absolutely. And we've also been featuring you a lot on our profile. You're taking, great photos, and I think you're making the most of it. So fabulous. I think, I think yours has been good. Ours has been even better. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
okay, perfect. I think, I hope that answers your question. Let's move on. So we've also got one question by Click by SSS. What is the future of mobile photography? Well, technically, we've answered this question, but in a nutshell, you can just quickly answer this question again.
So there was this photography competition which was organized in the last year November, and it said that I have to submit few photographs for that competition. So I randomly selected one picture of mine, and I just gave it a shot. Like, can I go through it or not? Because it was international level competition, and I sent three pictures, out of which two of them were shot using my DSLR, and one of them was shot using my Adcom wide angle lens. It was a picture of
Okay.
the Adcom of the Victoria Memorial. I guess you know
Oh,
that.
the Victoria Memorial. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen it.
So the pictures which were clicked using the DSLR, they were not selected, and the picture which was clicked using the Adcom wide angle lens, that
Hmm.
picture of the Victoria Memorial in the golden hour, that was selected, and I got the People's Choice Award. So I guess
Wow.
that
So,
is enough
so
to
that
answer
photo,
the question.
so that photo got sorry, got
People's
the
Choice
which award?
People's Choice Award.
Okay, People's Choice Award. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, I did not know about that. So I think very good you told us about this now, and very good question again.
yes.
So I think that explains in a nutshell, the future of mobile photography
Welcome,
and
welcome.
how it's about convenience and also professionalism, and all of that. So I think we'll do another question. And the next question is by Classy Quotes, Classy underscore Quotes 33. What is the best way to take a panorama? Good question, very good question. What is the best way to take a panorama?
So whenever we are not able to fit all the things in one frame, in one land, suppose we are taking a landscape photo again, okay, and we are not able to fit in the things all together in a proper frame, we can use the panorama mode. Like it's completely very simple and it's little underrated, I guess. We can click a lot of creative shots using the panorama mode too. So you know, just we have to just experiment with all the things that are there in a smartphone, and we can totally nail it anytime.
Okay, okay. So basically, that means experimenting is key while taking exploring different aspects of your camera. Panorama being one of
Yeah,
them. So
yeah.
while taking panorama shot, again you have to hold your camera and just move
You just
around,
need to
see
be little, yeah. You just need to be little steady. That's all that matters in panorama mode.
Okay. And I think most smartphones have a panorama mode, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. ठीक है. I think that's it. And anything else would you like to add on, Pradap? Because I think it's been a fabulous Q&A round plus a live session with you. A lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
have joined us.
I surely didn't expect these huge number of people coming in. Like there were 20 to 30 people initially, and there are still 11 people who are watching us. So thank you all who joined this live session. I hope it helped you in some manner or the other.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so I think we can end the live session now, and we hope that this live session was helpful, and I think you have answered all the most important questions for mobile photography, the basic tips and tricks, and we'll keep bringing you more. Just DM us, message us, comment on our photos. We're watching, we're taking feedback, via all our communication channels. We're listening, and thank you so much for joining. And have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
Pratap.
good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.